Okay, so it is me. I am back. Okay, we back, baby. And today I want to give a little progress report of where I've been in the last couple of months. Just kind of give you guys an update of where I am, like physically and all that good stuff. Hello, editing me here. I just wanted to let you guys know that this video was made like early October. So, a lot has happened since then. I have some other content that I have for you guys. My only issue is that I love to record the videos, but as soon as it comes down to editing is like when I like drag my feet. So I've been putting myself on the schedule to make sure I'm editing consistently. So just know there's a whole queue of stuff that I have prepared for you guys. It's just a matter of making sure that I pace myself and get this stuff like edited for you guys. But other than that, just want to give you guys that quick update and back to the video. So, where have I been? Well, it's been a lot going on the past couple months. I can't remember the last time I uploaded a video. It's been a while. It's been a fat minute. Doesn't mean I haven't been recording content. I have quite a bit of content that I've recorded over like the past couple of months. I just never got around to editing and putting out there. So I might go back and edit that stuff, or I might just redo it all together and just give you guys something fresh now that I'm in a new space, as you guys can see. So the other update is that I moved. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is my room, and I think this is about, I don't even think it's been a week living here yet. So it's been a lot going on, but this is my most recent update, is that I did move. And as you guys might have known, or maybe a few of you guys who have been subscribed already and watch my content, you know that I was living, I don't know if I was specific about my situation, but I was staying in an extended stay for a fat minute because of many different reasons. But I'm out of there, thank God. I can't wait to show you guys the new gym and tell you guys about my new updates as far as like how I'm going to be like going about fitness and stuff, and like different changes that I'm going to be making now that I have the opportunity to kind of like do more. So I want to get into that as well, but pacing myself a little bit. Yeah, so I moved. That's been a lot. I'm not even done moving yet. We still have a lot more other stuff. Like, even though it might seem like I'm kind of established here, nah, we still got more stuff we have to move. So it's been like a process in that sense. Also, the reason why I haven't really been active is because I've had a lot of friends now. Okay, I have a social life. It's funny because one of the videos I actually made was about not having friends and just how that's impacted me, which I think I'm gonna still drop that video just because I feel like a lot of people it will probably help some people out there. But now I actually have a social life and actually have some really good people that I've met and that I've been socializing with, and I've just been kind of like just living my life and just kind of I guess adjusting to this new change of like having a social life and having friends and being able to go out and do stuff and just all that type of stuff. And so I think I've kind of adjusted to that now, to where I'm kind of used to going out and doing stuff and talking to people, keeping up with people and stuff like that. So that's another thing. I was just going out a lot, just going out and having fun, and really blossoming as a human being. So that's another thing that I'm very grateful for, and is that shift. Another thing I've been doing recently is working on my other channel where I talk about like movies and shows, and like I've just really been enjoying making that kind of content because it's kind of like where I started, and what made me even start YouTube in the first place was being able to talk about those things that I love. I really love movies. I really love all that kind of stuff, and so just being able to be creative and do that has been very, very fun for me. So I've been working a lot on that, even though I kind of been falling behind on consistency with that. Like, I haven't finished editing all the videos yet, but I've started. I've been kind of slow with it, but I'm trying to get into like a flow so I can work on this channel and then that channel. So there's that too. I've been kind of picking up on that as well and trying to find a balance to make sure that I'm being consistent with both of these channels. But I'll figure it out. But the thing is that I love both of these channels, and being able to share different parts of myself. And it's been chill. I just had a brain fart. I feel like there was something else I was about to say but completely just lost it. Okay. Found it. Okay, so it's also school as well. I'm finishing up my last semester for my degree. This semester, the beginning of this semester was a nightmare. Like, usually the other semesters go very smoothly. I think maybe like the first 2 semesters of college probably were the toughest for me as far as like making sure everything was established. But once I got accustomed to the system and knew how to kind of do things and navigate, like, it was piece of cake getting everything up and going for the semester. But this semester, my last semester, was wild because I didn't know that I was gonna have to graduate. So it's just like a lot of different things that happened I was not prepared for. So I've been focusing on my class right now because it's a lot of different projects that I'm working on. And then not only that, but also I am studying for an exam that I have to take. It's like a political literacy test or something like that, a civic literacy test or whatever. And I feel like it's good for that they're requiring people to take this exam, like, to graduate, just because I feel like we should be literate. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. We should know like how the government works and stuff like that. So I'm like, at this point, it's whatever. I have to try to get this exam taken, passed, and done before the end of the month so that I can apply to graduate. So that's another thing too, is I've been working on some school stuff. But that's pretty much the big stuff that I've been dealing with lately. Some different changes that I'm experiencing and just having a lot of different things going on now, in a good way though. Things are really looking nice. It's looking good right now. But as far as fitness and different things like that, I will be honest and transparent and say that I haven't been as active as far as like physically as I would like. Well, not in the sense of like not doing anything at all, but I haven't been consistent in the gym before moving because, first of all, it's like having that one cable machine to use. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but it wasn't very in a very inspiring place to exercise. And I'm not going to say that that's a limitation because I would still go anyways, but I think it was just the emotional part of like just having to stay in that place and just like, I don't know, I didn't want to feel like I was boxed in into, like, I don't know, like I just need to be outside. So what I started doing was I started running and I committed to running at least 2 times a week. And once I started like day 1 of running, because usually I hated running, but like I actually started to like it. You know what I mean? I was like, holy crap, actually this is very refreshing. Like the first time I went out running, I loved it. I felt so energized. I felt great, which is not expected because, like I said before, I hated running in the past. It was something that I dreaded. I was one of those people when you had to do the mile for PE or like whatever in high school, and they make you do the mile. I was the one who was walking the whole entire thing. So it was really cool to kind of have a good experience with running and being active. And so I got addicted to it, but I did hit a little issue as far as like physically. Like I started having issues with my knees, and so I literally physically could not run as much as I wanted to. And so I haven't ran like much recently, but I was consistently going out walking at least and just enjoying nature, being present, and just kind of like getting out and doing stuff and being physical in that way. And so that's kind of where that is. I'll put up some progress pictures too, is like of like myself, like me physically right now. I believe I'm making steady progress, but I know that I could be doing more to, like, you know, kind of keep that momentum going. Not to necessarily say it's all about progress, and I definitely see how I've grown throughout this time, but I definitely want to, you know, do more. And so recently I think I'm gonna start, well, before I get too ahead of myself, yeah, so there's that part. Okay, so as far as like diet and eating, I have to be honest, I haven't been tracking. It's not that I can't track, it's just that, like I said, I've had a lot of stuff going on, and so it's been hard for me to keep up with it, or like it hasn't even been on my mind. I'll just say it like that. It hasn't been on my mind to track, but I'm not the type of person that gets caught up in that. I think that I think what it's called is like mindful dieting or mindful eating, where like you're being mindful of what you're eating, how much you're eating, and you're going according to that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to restrict myself in a negative way, but also I'm being like mindful of how much I'm eating and different things like that, which I feel like is very important to do, period. And so let me make sure this is still recording. Y'all let me know if y'all like this new iPhone update, because sometimes it be tweaking, I ain't gonna lie. Oh yeah, diet. So yeah, I think I'm just more mindful of that. I try to be hard on myself if I can't keep track. And also sometimes too, like if you're in a situation like me where you don't really have much control over what you eat all the time, like you just kind of have to just eat what you got type of situation, then I feel like, you just got to do what you got to do. But that's what I kind of just try to be mindful, watch my portions, and I don't snack as much either. Like I'm very just mindful in that sense. I feel like as far as with protein and things like that, I haven't been able to be as consistent with protein lately, just because of, like I said, not really having too much control over that, and also not really having the money at this moment to be able to buy like my own stuff to make sure I'm getting enough protein in. But it's just all about making different choices to make sure that you just try the best that you can with what you have. And if you have opportunities to decide what you want to eat, just eating things that make the most sense and stuff like that. I have my mini fridge again, so hopefully I can start to get my stuff and start making my own stuff again, and just kind of, like being able to have my own little stuff that I can eat, to make sure that I'm doing what I got to do. But then again, I don't want to be toxic as far as like, oh, I'm not getting a protein in, or this or that. I think my priority right now is just being healthy. Yes, I have health goals as far as, building muscle, losing fat and stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like as long as I'm showing up for myself and doing the best that I can and being consistent with that, that's fine. Like, I'll keep going to the gym, even if that means that I'm not getting as much protein in, to sustain all the muscle mass that I would like. As long as I'm moving my body and being healthy and being consistent, that's what matters. I'm like, the protein, we can get that knocked out at some point. But right now, I think the priority for me is just making sure that I'm healthy and being consistent. And like I said, this is all about a lifestyle change for me. As far as being able to weigh myself, I actually just realized this because I think in my past videos, I told you guys that I wasn't sure exactly how much I weighed before. Like when I started working out to lose weight, I think I had guessed like it was like maybe 150s, but it was way more than that. It was way more than that. Okay, so I went to the doctor's office recently, and they said that I weighed like 170 or something like that. I literally have the paper that they gave me that said I was like 170. I was like, there's no freaking way I weigh 170. But I do know that this time around I was way bigger than I was before. But I've lost a lot since then. But I've told that, you just gotta knock a couple pounds off of that, because sometimes it's inaccurate. And also this was like later in the day after I had eaten and all that other kind of stuff. But even still, I'm like, that's still pretty high. So I know that, like, whatever the case might be, when I first started, it must have been pretty high. I'm just gonna say that. It's okay though, I'm not tripping about it. I don't really trip out over the numbers. It's more so how do I feel in my body and stuff like that. Because when I first started this fitness journey, like my body felt so terrible. When I tell you I felt icky, like it was bad, and just feeling gross, and just not even gross as in looking gross or anything, but just like how I felt in my body was just not it. And so now, I feel healthier, I feel better, I feel lighter in a sense. And so it's kind of like that to me is what matters to me, is that I know that and I feel that change within myself. And also I know there's also progress that I've made. Like I said, I'll put a picture up of like where I'm at right now. And at times, I'm not gonna lie, but sometimes I am a little bit frustrated at, just feeling like I haven't lost enough, especially since I have a lot of my clothes that were like in storage for a while, and having them back and being like, dang, I can't. Even though I have more clothing options, it's not like I can wear that stuff. It's like I'm back to square one. Whereas before, I had clothes that I couldn't fit, and now I lost weight and I was able to fit them again. It's like I'm kind of back to that place where, dang, I have all these clothes that I want to wear, but I can't wear them yet because I haven't lost weight. And so it's just certain things like that kind of like bother me a little bit. But it's just kind of like certain things, it just kind of passes. At the end of the day, like I said, it's just about showing up and making that difference and being proud of myself for the progress I've made so far, because I've made a lot of progress. I will say that I went to the doctors for the first time in years, probably since high school, get my physical. It's the first time I've actually gone in years, and I got, even though she didn't really do nothing, it was kind of like one of those like first initial like appointments, like a new new patient thing. So it's pretty much just asking me a bunch of questions, getting the answers for it, hearing about certain things that I'm going through and also the type of stuff. And it wasn't really anything like as far as like checking anything except for my blood pressure and stuff. I was hoping to get some blood work done, but I wasn't able to, because it's best to like not have anything like food and water or like things in your system when you get blood work done. So I had to schedule to get my blood work done, and so that's going to be happening this month. So I'm happy about that, because I feel like it's very important to know what's going on in your body and just making sure that you're being consistent with that. I think the most consistent thing I've been dealing with is probably my eyes, and maybe the dentist too, because I think I got all the work done that need to be done at the dentist as well. So I'm kind of up to date with that. But as far as like full body stuff, I have not been consistent, but now I'm taking it very seriously and really wanting to see what's going on. Like I feel like maybe I might have be deficient in certain senses, but I don't want to speak that, I don't really know. I'm not going to judge until I can actually see it. But so those are different things that I'm thinking about as far as like health wise. It's just making sure that I am aware of what's going on in my body, to make sure that if anything's going on, I can take care of it, especially since I'm getting older. My body does not feel the same as it did before being 25. Even my back, my muscles, my bones, all of it is definitely, it's definitely a shift and change. You can feel that. I feel like as soon as I turned 25, I felt that difference, where things I used to be able to do I can't do anymore, such as not stretching. Now I feel like I have to stretch at least twice a day to make sure that I'm not stiff or uncomfortable physically. Today also was the first time I actually was able to get into the gym because I was so exhausted from moving, y'all. I've never lived in an apartment before, but I freaking hate it. No, I'm not gonna say I hate it. I just mean like it's different. Like I've never had to live in an apartment and hear people upstairs walking around, or like, you know, different things going on. I feel like there's always some type of noise happening, and so it's just kind of like, it's different. Yeah, so I went to the gym for the first time and it was actually very nice. I'll show you guys a little video of like what the gym looks like, but we will be spending some time there when I start recording myself again. But I've also created a chart for myself. This is something I've also implemented. It's not like I feel like it's required, but it's basically just a chart so I can keep track of like my progress in the gym, like what I'm doing, how many reps, and just being able to track my progress, and also to remember like what I did the last time, so that way I can see if I made improvements. Because sometimes I'll just go off the cuff. Sometimes like I'll just be like, oh, I did 15, like I did the weight of like 15 or 20, or like, you know, something like that, or like, but I wouldn't really know like how I've improved, or if I'm even doing the right like weight. Like it's not consistent. Like I want to make sure I'm being consistent in like what I'm doing, and you know, keeping track of that, so that way I can easily track like my progress. So I found this template. I use Notability or something like that. I used to use GoodNotes, but I use Notability now, and there's this really cool template that's on there that I use to keep track of my exercises. It's very simple, straight to the point, and very quick and easy to do. And so I started that today, and so it's very fun. But yeah, so that's another thing that I'm doing that I'll be taking you guys along with, and hopefully when I start being able to meal prep and stuff like that again, I can be able to share that with you guys as well. And not only just that, but just life stuff in general. But anyways, with that being said, I am done here. I might take a shower or whatever, and then just play some video games or something, maybe late. I don't know. It's just a vibe here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I have some other things coming for you guys. I promise. I swear to freaking gosh. I got y'all. Anyways, out of here. Bye.